Hello, sweet viewers. Annyeong. That means hi in Korean. I'm Christine from Kimbop TV, empowering you to live a happier and safer life, especially if you're a fellow domestic violence survivor. Well, it's almost the end of 2020. Yay, we made it. To commemorate this time of the year, I'm taking a look at my top 5 videos from 2020. It helps me to celebrate small victories I had as a storyteller and to remember the precious individuals I crossed paths with during this unforgettable time in history. So, as we count down, I'll give you some behind the scenes details about each story. Ready? Let's dive in. The 5th most viewed video that I made this year is called Adopting a Dog During COVID-19. I met my neighbor Linda while she and her daughter were walking their dogs. I took one look at Rayanne and oh my goodness, she took me back to my childhood when I had a dog named Vince that looked so much like her. Well, technically, Vince was my neighbor's dog, but because I took care of him every day, my neighbor, Mrs. Matsumiya, let me call him my dog. We filmed this story in my front yard, and I wanted to help the nonprofit that Linda is a part of. It's called the Southern California Labrador Retriever Rescue, and they actually ran out of dogs to adopt during COVID-19. We filmed this right at the time when so many people started adopting pets during this pandemic, and I came close but haven't made a commitment to do so myself quite yet. I still see Linda pretty regularly out on her walks with Rayanne and Robin, and it's so cool that this story brought us together in this meaningful way. My 4th most viewed video from 2020 is about brown sugar boba ice cream. I made this video after my friends at my church small group introduced me to it. One bite into this and I was in love. The boba is not hard, it's super soft and chewy, and the brown sugar milk tea flavor is just so good. It's seriously one of the best ice creams I've ever had, and it was becoming so popular that all of the Asian grocery stores that carried them ran out. Now they're on sale, usually $7.99 a box, which is quite expensive from my perspective, but still totally worth it. If you haven't tried this ice cream bar and you live in a neighborhood that sells them, please give them a try and tell me what you think. The 3rd most popular video from this year is called COVID Layoff Leads Man to Pursue His Dream. It's about my friend Keith, who lost his job at Terranea Resort in Palos Verdes. We met at the Gardena Valley Japanese Cultural Institute, where we both received counseling as small business owners. He had started a company called CK Dream with his wife Carolyn and made wooden handcrafted stands for ukuleles. He eventually patented his creation called K-Stand and started making different versions for other musical instruments as well as for smartphones and tablets. Well, when he lost his day job, which paid his bills, he decided to take a huge leap of faith and go all in with his small business. And my video helped to tell his story during this pivotal moment in his life. It got a lot more views than I thought, and more importantly than that, it got him a lot of customers. He got so busy that he invited me back to do a follow-up video about the impact the first video made on their lives. Stories like that make me so happy because I love seeing positive changes. The 2nd most viewed video from my 2020 collection is called Costco Run During Coronavirus Pandemic. It was the very first time I left the house after being quarantined for 2 weeks. I rushed back home from Prague after the travel ban was announced in March. And then while I was holed up inside, I was becoming so anxious because I saw how quickly the world was changing through TV reports. The long lines at the grocery stores, everyone wearing masks. These were all sensational stories I watched but didn't witness firsthand until my husband and I went to Costco. Oh my goodness. This trip was a culture shock. I remember I literally had hives forming on my feet when I walked inside Costco on this day. Maddie saw me climbing up. I felt sweat on my palms and I just was so uncomfortable. So I started filming and documenting the drastic changes I was witnessing because I wanted to share it with others who also had anxiety like me so that they know what to expect the next time they go out their doors. And finally, my #1 video from 2020 is called Children's Book About Wearing Masks. This lovely young lady named Caitlin Chu is a college student. We met 1 year ago at Tanaka Farms, where I created a video about its annual event called Walk the Farm, which benefits farmers in Japan. Well, Caitlin had announced that she wrote and illustrated a book to help kids get used to wearing masks during this pandemic. And she wasn't looking to make money from this. Instead, she was donating everything she earned to nonprofits. So I invited her over to my backyard for a socially distanced interview where I could help her to tell her story. And boy, did it take off. A local TV station even took my video, without my permission, by the way, to give Caitlin's story an extra boost. The end results were more than just thousands of views. Her book is helping so many children to adjust to these strange and scary times, and proceeds from her book sales are going to help the No Kid Hungry campaign, Black Women in Visual Art, schools, and other organizations serving children and youth. So those are Kimbop TV's top stories from 2020. You know, I spent much of this year in self-doubt mode, feeling helpless and wondering if I was doing anything worthwhile during this pandemic. Taking a look at these highlights remind me that yes, people are watching my stories and they are getting inspired by them and taking positive action afterwards. That's all I've ever wanted as a storyteller. So thank you to everyone who helped to give each video that extra view and to give that entrepreneur that extra sale. I look forward to telling more stories in 2021 that can have a similar impact and help more people in meaningful ways. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone you know. Take great care of yourselves, and I'll see you again in my next video. Bye.